All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is a second part of my sleeving my photo cards video. So right now I have sleeved all my 17 cards and all my girl group cards. We're using these popcorn sleeves here that I got in a group order recently. And the final binder we have to go through is my miscellaneous boy group binder. It's miscellaneous plus all the groups that I collect, but just not those members. So all of the other photo cards that I have. If you missed part one, I sleeved all of my twice cards and all of my 17 cards and all my miscellaneous girl group cards. And in that I did my like K-pop origin story. So that took me like an hour to explain. But now I'm going to be doing a K-pop collector Q&A. I found this Q&A from this person on Twitter from like 4 years ago, but the questions seemed kind of fun. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with our miscellaneous boys section. So at the beginning here, we have my miscellaneous soloists, starting with Eric Nam. So this person asks, how many people do you collect at the moment? And I'll just count that as like actual collections, not like these ones here. But I know I have 19 collections, but then the Ace collection has 3 guys. The Stray Kids collection has obviously 8. And then ATEEZ has 2. And I think, oh, Twice Misamo, that has 3. And then, yeah, I guess 17, I kind of like, I collect Wanu, but then I add in a few extra cards from like other members, but I guess we won't count that. So what is that? 19, 20, 21, 22, 30, 31. I think it's 31 people I collect maybe. Wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of little faces on pieces of paper. Yeah, but as you can see from like the miscellaneous section, I mean, this is like maybe gonna be my monetary downfall, but I really do like collecting albums. Like I like collecting photo cards as well, but like my first love was collecting albums. So I buy albums for just a lot of artists I don't even really collect. Like as we can see, all of these people. Because I just find that like collecting albums, to me, it kind of is showing like, oh, I want to own, like to me, I'm like, I really like this song. I want to own the song. Like I want to have a physical copy of this song like in my possession. And also I just find it really fun. But for K-pop albums, I have over 700. I have a spreadsheet actually that, why don't I pull up the spreadsheet actually? I have a spreadsheet alphabetizing all the groups that I collect, how many albums I collect from each of them. Yeah, so right now I collect 96 different groups, artists, 27 signed albums, 158 jewel cases, 608 normal albums, and so I have 766 albums total right now. Yeah, so that's a lot of albums, but I find it really fun. At some point, obviously, I'm going to have to stop or we're gonna have to reassess because I have 3 filled bookshelves right now, and that is not going to be ending, obviously, even just with the groups, like my alt groups that I collect. So that's the first question. What's the item you're most proud of in your collection? The item? I don't know if I have an item that I'm most proud of, but I am really proud of my Sangyeon collection, and I recently did get my first Sangyeon broadcast card, which was very exciting. But yeah, it's actually a good question. I haven't really thought about, yeah, like which are I most proud of? I do obviously really love my Stray Kids OT8 collection. A lot of people collect Stray Kids OT8, so I feel like at this point, I feel like, oh, it's like not that impressive that I do that. But I mentioned in my first part of this, I did like collect, like I worked for that first like no easy like set of photo cards because I didn't know how to do anything. So I didn't know how to trade or use Instagram or anything. So I really struggled through that first set. But okay, now we're going into, this is now alphabetical of like miscellaneous. That was day 6. Now we have DKB. Who has been the hardest to collect and the easiest? So I'd say like 1Us is pretty easy to collect. So Lido was like not very hard to collect. I'd say Sangyeon is easy to collect in the boys. It's just that some of their earlier albums were harder to like find stuff for at first because they're out of print. So that's a little bit annoying. But to me, I actually find like the hardest groups to collect are unfortunately like the HYBE artists. Like I found Jungwon actually very difficult to collect, which is why now for Jungwon, like especially for the earlier eras, I collect like 3 photo cards per era because it was just like the pricing of those cards for like what they are is so crazy. Like I got into Enhypen when they debuted. There are so many Enhypen fans because of Island, and so for some reason their photo cards are just like not cheap. It's very strange to me. And I found that with TXT as well. I started collecting TXT and then I stopped, and now I actually have recently re-added in TXT, but I feel like since I have some other collections under my belt, that might help. That might help me on this round. So I don't know, we'll see. I'm actually finding that as I like get into collecting some other people now, like it's really weird. So Wonu is famously like a pretty popular member of 17, and at least in like the photo card trading community, I feel like that's just like you hear about that a lot, like, oh, Wanu's kind of hard to collect. And it's like some eras I don't find him very hard to collect. I mean, obviously the more recent eras it's easier because as we saw from the news like a few weeks ago, they like had the top selling album of the entire world last year. They've sold like millions and millions of copies. So it shouldn't be hard to collect him because that's just like too many photo cards out there for it to be difficult. So earlier like that, but it's also weird because then certain earlier eras like aren't that hard. Like I actually didn't find an ode to be that hard. And Face the Sun, I bought like his entire set in one, which was really lucky that I found that. But what I'm finding now, I mean, even some of the earlier like Boys B, those photo cards aren't even, to me, like not that expensive because they're like maybe like $12-ish like on Mercari Japan, which does sound like a lot for a single photo card, but given that it's like all earlier albums from all groups, like the photo cards are going to be more expensive. I mean, I know 17 just did a re-release reprint, so like in theory we should be like, they still shouldn't be expensive, but I feel like I forgive the earlier eras. But like what I found so crazy is like Hengare, Your Choice, Ataka. That like string of albums, I was just, because I don't have a lot of those photo cards yet, literally 2 nights ago I was looking up Wonu cards on Mercari Japan for that, and his cards are so expensive. Like I was seeing single Hengare cards, like one Hengare card for $70 for Wonu, and then right next to him like Josh is like $6. And I'm like, that is so crazy. That just makes absolutely no sense to me. I really like don't understand how I'm going to collect that era. Like I was so shocked by that because I did not expect, like Hengare is a very popular era. You can't tell me that like those cards don't exist out there. Maybe they didn't sell as many albums at the time and now like people aren't buying them because they're that weird packaging, so no one wants to buy that bag. I don't know. But it's the same with Ataka, and it was the same. Actually, Your Choice wasn't as bad. Your Choice is still kind of expensive, but it was not. I like literally was so floored by those Hengare cards. I found like a random set. I should probably just go and buy it, honestly. That had like it had like 17 Hengare cards, and it happened to have 2 Wanus. The whole set was $20, and I was like, should I just buy this? Because that's like 2 of these Wanu cards that I need. I don't know. That was really crazy. If anyone collects 17 and you have any like tips for me about that, because again, I do not understand that. Like, I get his AL1 cards and, like, teenage cards being expensive, even though I'd rather that not be the case. But, oh my god, I was so surprised by that. The other person that I think I'm actually gonna have a hard time collecting is Intak from P1 Harmony. And it's not even that, like, I assume, I don't even know popularity really of P1 Harmony, like, members. I assumed that, like, he and, like, Keho would maybe be, like, slightly more challenging to collect, but it's not even the pricing, it's finding the cards. It's probably because, like, I was just looking at Mercari Japan, and then I looked on Pokemarket. There also, like, aren't that many. I don't know if it must be, and maybe it has to be, like, an Instagram game for me. But that seemed like the harder thing. What I was surprised about is that, like, Jaemin is not as difficult to collect as I thought, because Jaemin is also described to be, like, a very popular member of NCT Dream, and actually a few of his cards are, like, obviously very absurdly overpriced, like his Golden Age cards. But I was surprised. I was nervous to start that collection because I thought that it would be hard, but it's actually, so far I have not found it to be very difficult, which was good. It's also, like, I feel like it comes in waves. Like, I look up some Jungkook cards in Mercari Japan and I'm like, Jesus, these are like weirdly expensive. And then I'll go back like 2 weeks later and I'll be like, oh my God, I just found one for like $4. So I don't know. I feel like it kind of depends, but next question is, have you ever been scammed? I have been scammed twice. Once is a shorter story. The other one is like a little bit longer, but once it was actually just like very confusing and like kind of annoying because I found someone on Instagram who was selling Han's Levanter Lenticular, which those are like the more expensive Stray Kids cards to collect. That actually, going back to the other question, the reason that I haven't gone back to collect like more Stray Kids cards, like I only collect Han before Noeasy and then I collect OT8. And I know a lot of people go back and like collect earlier eras. My problem, first of all, is I don't know who I would want to add because obviously I love all of them at this point. Like Han's my alt bias, but then like of the other guys, I'm like, you know, who would I choose? But going back and collecting earlier Stray Kids cards is actually really, really annoying because a lot of them are actually kind of weirdly expensive too. And again, for like what reason? You have so many stands. Like there's no reason that they should be like that expensive. Okay, we're almost done with the, oops, why did I just do that? Okay, new packet. Okay, so one person scammed me. They lived in like South America or something, but they had the Levanter Han that they were gonna sell me for like $30 or something, which for those cards, I was like, that's honestly like not that bad. And they were also gonna sell me like a pre-order card, because like Stray Kids older pre-order cards are also like impossible to collect. They're so expensive. And then I think Maxident was out at the time, so I was gonna buy like 2 like miscellaneous Maxident cards from them, and I sent them the money and they were like, great, like what's your address, like the whole thing. And then they just stopped responding to me, and I messaged them back like 2 different times. Not even like, I was just like, hey, I'm just checking in on this. And the next time I was like, hey, I know you haven't responded to me, but like please just let me know. You know, like I sent them like $60 something, like that's not nothing. And it was going to be tracked too, and they just like literally never responded to me. And I would see they'd be online and they would not respond. So that was really annoying, actually, because it was just like, why don't you just, if you can't send me the card, just send me my money back, like. But the other time I got scammed was I joined this group order for, again, it was Stray Kids. I think it was Maxident. And a lot of people on Instagram, if you are like a collector, you know this like scam story because it was pretty like widespread in like the US like Stray Kids community on Instagram. But I'm not gonna say the handle, also because I like genuinely actually don't remember, but I don't need to like dox them any more than I already have. But basically this person did a bunch of group orders, and then essentially I think they got like very stressed out and they just decided to like stop responding to everyone and just like ghost instead. And this like girl who also, or I shouldn't say, I don't know their how they identified this person who kind of knows this like original GOM and lived in the same like city as them, went to their house, tried to like negotiate, was like, I'll take the cards, like I'll finish up all your group orders. And they had so many group orders. But anyway, finally we did get a bunch of our claims, and I think this like second Instagrammer, the person who was trying to like help us out, tried to like brought the case to like small claims court to try to get some people's money back, because some people just like had given this person hundreds and hundreds of dollars and there was no way they were going to get it back. I joined for like a Stray Kids Target card. I ended up getting Han somewhere at some other point, but I did end up getting my pull from that eventually. So I ended up getting like the one card I got, but that was pretty crazy. Okay, we're almost done with the miscellaneous cards. But I've only been scammed twice, so I guess that's not that bad. This was the question, who was the first person who started collecting for? I said this in my previous video, but it was Han from Stray Kids. And then I started collecting OT8 Stray Kids, and then I started collecting Sangyun from the boys. Those were like my first, like, that was like my set of my first collections. Do you own any signed albums? I do. Like you saw in my spreadsheet, I own apparently 27 signed albums. My favorite signed album, I do own a OT10 The Boys Signed Whisper album, because Eric wasn't in that release, so he didn't sign it. But that one is pretty exciting because I loved Whisper, and like full group signed The Boys album was like pretty amazing. So I have a bunch of like ATEEZ ones, because you know nowadays ATEEZ does so many like signed albums per release. But who else? I do own an OT13 signed Semicolon album, so that is also like super special to me. Yeah, I also have 3 of those signed Stray Kids photo cards. I have Han. That was like such a journey to get that Han. And then I have Chan and Jongin also. Yeah, I really do like signed albums. I ordered a full member signed Ace album from their most recent release, and also same for P1. Annoying about, so I live in DC. M-Wave does not list District of Columbia as a state on when you're signing up for shipping. So I literally cannot send myself anything from M-Wave. So I have to send it to my parents, and then my parents send it to me, which is kind of funny and also just like, why? Next question here. This person, who do you want to collect but haven't gotten around to? So I did recently start a few new collections. So at this point, I'm collecting like basically almost everyone that I would want to collect. The only thing I would, in a perfect world, I would love to collect like a few more The Boys members. But it's just so... The Boys have a lot of cards. So even though, like I said, Sangyun isn't hard to collect, but the Boys have a lot of cards. So it's very... The way my brain works is like once I complete one thing, I'm like, okay, good, I'm done. Like it's hard for me to go back and like collect the same card again, but just for a different member. But I would really love to collect like a top 3 The Boys collection would be so cute. I would definitely collect, it'd be Hyunjae, and then the thing is, I think it would be Sonu, but like Sonu is also kind of difficult to collect, which hasn't stopped me before. Obviously, like I said, I collect like Wonu, and I collect Han, and I collect San from ATEEZ, and you know, like I don't collect all like cheap members, but like Sonu, I don't know, I've heard that it's kind of difficult to collect him. I don't know, maybe one day, if I get like, I mean, I'd love to add in, what I'm doing for 17 right now is I'm collecting Wonu, but then since he's in a 9 pocket, I'm like adding in like other members to like fill in the 9 pocket pages, and Mingyu is my second bias. Mingyu is also difficult to collect, but I would love if I could expand that collection, maybe. That would be fun. And the only other thing I would expand is I collect Jungwoo from NCT, and I feel like I'd love to collect like Dojejung OT3. Like that'd be the sexiest collection I think I could ever own. So that's like maybe even a little more possible because the Doujijun cards aren't like so difficult to find. But oh yeah, the boys. I recently stumbled upon someone's YouTube video the other day of collecting like OT11, the boys, and I was just like, that is so cool. I mean, it looks so difficult, especially when you get to the more recent eras. I mean, I'm struggling to collect Sangyeon's 3 DVD cards, like, just for Sangyeon. Imagine collecting it for 11 people. That's crazy. But it looked really fun, that collection, actually. So, all right. So we're done with my miscellaneous section. Now we're going to start to move on to... I got my coffee here. Let me get a sip. So now let's move on to my like categorized collections, because these are groups that I collect a member for, but just not these members. I actually do collect Donghoon now, but these are his like early era photo cards that I was, that is actually, oh my gosh, going back to the signed album question. I don't have a signed album, but I do have a fan sign album of Ace's Adventures in Wonderland, which that album is out of print. Very difficult to find. My friend gifted that to me for my birthday last year, and it came with these 2 cards. It also has a post-it inside written on it by Donghoon, like answering a question that the fan had asked him, like for the fan sign. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I own that. That actually might be like my most prized, like, it's not signed, but you know, like, item. Okay, next question. Do you have any sets completed? I do have sets. Well, I do have Stray Kids is complete all the way through until Rockstar. I'm almost done with Rockstar. And Han has been complete. Sangyeon, besides 1 limited card, is complete. Not in my possession right now, but I do have my last Lido card that I needed. So Lido is going to be complete after that. And is that it for completed collections? Yeah, maybe. Oh, well. Oh, wait, these don't go on this page. Okay, hold on. Okay, so Ace, my new Ace cards, and then the Ace special page back here. Do you remember the first photo card you ever pulled? What about the first you bought or traded? I do think we'll get to BTS in a second. I think my first pull was I think it was J-Hope from Map of the Soul 7. And then what's the first you bought? Oh my god, it had to be a Han card, but I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember which Han card I bought. I do remember the username of the person, actually. I still like buy some things from them now and again, but yeah, no, I actually don't remember the first one I bought. Do you own any out of print albums or photo cards? Yes, so I do own some Ace albums that are out of print, like Mad Squad and Adventures in Wonderland. And I do own the boys, their like reveal era. Okay, we're going to ATs next. Is not, that album is not in print anymore. And same with, literally, actually, no, they haven't brought back into print any of the albums from debut until, I think Dreamlike is sometimes like around. But a lot of the boys' albums I had to buy secondhand because they were not available, which was kind of rough, but we did get there in the end. Is there a group you couldn't pick just 1 or 2 members, so you collected the entire group? I mean, for ATs, I just like really wanted to collect Woosan. Like, I couldn't imagine just collecting Wooyoung, but that's not the whole group. For Yeah, I actually don't collect, I don't collect any full group besides Stray Kids. So yeah, I guess not to that question. Do you own any broadcast cards? I do own, I own a Sangyeon broadcast, and I own a Eric Sonu broadcast card from Honey. It's very exciting. That was my first broadcast card purchase though. I literally did purchase that like 2 weeks ago and they just arrived. So it's really, well, no, I actually purchased it like several months ago, but they finally arrived to me. So yeah, just the boys broadcast cards. Is there anyone you wanted to stop collecting for if you haven't because you already own so much of their collection? No, actually not. I don't know, maybe I'll feel that way about a group later, but actually no, for right now, I love all of my collections that I have right now. Opinions about members being priced differently. I mean, yeah, I think that's very stupid. Like, I get pricing photo cards differently if they're from like an album that has not been, that's like out of print or something, or obviously like broadcast cards or things that like they're literally were less made, like that makes sense to me. But yeah, I was at a cup sleeve once and I remember this, I was talking to this girl and she collects Hyunjin from Stray Kids, and she was like, oh yeah, well, I'm like a classic Hyunjin collector because I just like overprice all of his cards, like I feel like we have to do that. And I just sat there and I was like, that like I didn't say this to her. I'm a pretty like passive person, so I was like, whatever, you know, you can believe what you want. But I truly in my head was like, I just like so deeply disagree with that. Like, I do not understand, I don't understand that mentality at all. Like, I really don't. I get pricing of benefit cards for later in, like, past the era. To me, it should be like how much you paid for the album. Like, that's how much you should charge the benefit card for. If you're doing a group order, it's less because you also can get inclusions. The person's also buying it in bulk, so it's different. But what I do not get is, yeah, people just overpricing, even like pricing like a platform card, for example, like being the same price as the whole platform, because that, or more expensive than the whole platform, because that just doesn't make any sense, because the whole platform had like a bunch of stuff in it. And the photo card, like, people, it's interesting. People have different perspectives on like, I know some people view collecting photo cards as like, I only buy the album to get the photo card pull. I don't see it that way because you get a lot of other stuff in the album. Like, you're getting the album and then you get the photo card as part of it. So the photo card price is not the one single photo card is not the price of the album, because you got a bunch of stuff for the album. Like, you didn't just get the photo card. I get maybe if you're then joining a group order or like a fixed claim, and the point of that is to get the benefit card. So at that point, to you, the photo card is like the album. The album is the benefit card. Like, that's why you're getting it. You're not buying the album for like the music. You're buying it because you want to get the benefit card. That's different. But people who think that like, oh, it's like useless to like buy albums because I just want the photo cards, I don't know. I really like the albums, so I don't know. I don't view it that way. I know some collectors do view it that way, but to me, like, I don't know. You're getting a lot of stuff with it. And it's, I mean, sometimes we get less stuff now than we should, which that's like a whole different thing, but I don't know. That's my thoughts on member pricing. That's not very coherent, but okay, that was the last for like that person's question. We're putting away. Does this AT's Japanese card fit in here? Yes, it does. Okay. So this, I have another like questionnaire up now. First girl group album. Oh my God. I know what it was. It was a Purple Kiss album, because my friend Tessa was into Purple Kiss right when they debuted. Like, she followed them pre-debut, and she got me a Purple Violet? What's that album called? Anyway, she got me that album as a gift. So that was my first girl group album. First boy group album, I think it was One Us in its time, because this same friend, I think she gifted me that album before I even owned a BTS album, I think. First pop you owned? Oh my God. It was definitely a Han one. I think it was probably like a No Easy, like Apple Music or something. Like one of those ones that's like easier to collect, you know? But actually it's a good question. I don't remember. Pop of someone wearing glasses. Well, we don't have my Sangyeon collection up here right now, but Sangyeon comes to mind as someone wearing glasses. Like I feel like Sangyeon, he often does like, he had a whole string of cards for like the last era where he was wearing glasses. Let's see. Now we're getting into like 80s non-album, just my like OT sets, which I don't have very many of, but let's look at I'm looking at another template now, because all those questions are about photo cards, which is like obviously good, but it's like which photo card of this, and I don't have all my photo cards in front of me right now, so we can't really do that. But also my phone's at 10%, so think we'll finish 80s, and then I'll have to go run and get my charger, and then we'll be able to keep going. What was the first song you heard by your bias group? Well, the first BTS song I heard was On. My first 80s song I heard was, oh my god, what was the first 80s song? Okay, was it just Pirate King? I know that Say My Name was the one that got me. I know that's common for a lot of people. It wasn't the first 80s song though. It was like up there. Like I was watching a bunch of videos and it came up. But, oh my gosh, no, I remember. It was Inception. And that was before I even stan, but I just saw that this like group had released a new song and I watched it. And at the time, obviously shame on me now, I was like, oh, it's like fine. Which is crazy because Inception's a masterpiece. But yeah, that was the first 80s song I heard. First one a song was In Its Time. First one we song was Regulus. First Ace song, I think it was Undercover probably, because that song is just so good. And I think that's what my friend was sending me when she was getting into them. First Stray Kids song was Backdoor, even though I didn't understand what it was at the time. But then the other first one would be, I think it was God's Menu. I think that was just, you know, I mean, that's a good one. First first SM song was Jopping, which is really funny. But yeah, I heard Jopping like right when I was getting into K-pop. So first the Boys song, I think it was Whiplash. Whiplash to this day is still like one of my favorite The Boys songs ever, but that song had recently come out. And then I think it was The Stealer. I think The Stealer or Reveal was like the next one that I listened to. Okay, so for my 80s like unit cards, I'm also combining that, not unit, group cards, I'm also combining them with this like other random card you get in the albums just to like condense everything. First Twice song was either More or Can't Stop Me. First ITZY song, it was probably Dalla Dalla. Ugh, Dalla Dalla Queen Dalla Dalla. Okay, this top 5 K-pop groups. Okay, well it's Stray Kids, ATEEZ, The Boys, and then Stray Kids, ATEEZ, The Boys, 17, and oh my god, that's hard. I'm trying to look at my albums to see. Oh my god, I don't know. That's so hard. I mean, everyone would, you all know the pain, the struggle. I don't know, that's really hard. Well, we'll just leave it at that. That's my answer. Oh, other direction. Okay, so we have finished ATEEZ. Yes. All right, great. So that's already filled up. We still have I'll show you all the cards we still have to go. I have to go get my charger and I'll be back later. We have my BTS and Hypen cards. And then we have like iKON, Monsta X, NCT, ONEUS, ONEWE, SF9, and TXT. So that's all the cards we have, and we have these left. Do you think we can do it? Let's see. I'll be back later. Okay, we're back. I got my charger. All right, so we're going now into BTS. So, and let's see, next on this little questionnaire thing, we have, wait, let me move these other papers right now. We don't need those now. Who is your ultimate bias and why? So my ultimate bias is Han from Stray Kids. I just think that I really like his story, for lack of a better word. Like, I really appreciate that he has had like an emotion, like a journey with his kind of like profession and his emotions, and he used to be this kind of like angsty teen, and he used to like argue with a lot of the Stray Kids members, and he, you know, didn't completely finish school. He just wanted to do producing. Like, he's also very introverted, which is like me. And I also just think the music that he writes is like amazing and impeccable. So I think it was like that. It was his song Wish You Back. Like, that's when I was getting to Stray Kids, is when that song was released. And I remember just being like, oh my God, is this that guy that I kind of thought that I liked on Kingdom? And I just like, that song is a perfect example. Like, he released a song recently called 13, and it's about the couple on Exchange who had like a 13-year-long relationship and then like had to go their separate ways, and now they're back on Exchange. Like, the way that he like listens to people's stories and then writes music, I think is so amazing. This, I think, was my first photo card pull. I think it was that J-Hope, or it was this Namjoon. Yeah, that's why I love Han from Stray Kids. I just really like, I just think he's very special. I think he's a very important person. I'm so glad that we have him in this world. Has a K-pop song or music video ever made you cry? No, I don't really cry very easily. So no song has ever made me like actually cry. I think that 17's Kid Alt is like a very emotional song. When I watch them sing Circles and see Wonu sing Circles, then that does like make me kind of emotional. But yeah, not like, honestly, I'm not a big crier, so not a lot of those. Actually, Answer Love Myself, BTS, doesn't make me cry, but that song is very, very beautiful. So, name your top 10 favorite K-pop albums. Ooh, that's a really good question. Okay, so starting off, BTS Love Yourself Tears, since we're on BTS right now. I think that album is amazing. Masterpiece. Then, oh my gosh, this is such a good question, but like, how do you go about answering it? I think that NCT Two Baddies is, I think, such an amazing album. Oh, Perfume, obviously. Perfume, She's a Queen. I think Dawn's album that he released last year is probably one of my favorite albums to ever release. B.I.'s Waterfall, that album, that is like no skips, 10 out of 10, just like so amazing. That's like 5 or so, right? Let's see, what else do we have? For, I think Stray Kids, In Life is my favorite Stray Kids album because it combines the two, Go Live and In Life. For, let's see, I'm trying to think of just like other albums that I bought too, that Day 6, Book of Us Demon, that album is amazing, so good, such a masterpiece. honestly, right now, P1 Harmony's Killin' It album is, at least in like recent times, one of my favorite albums ever. I think that is just like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Let's pull up, maybe I'll pull up I'm gonna pull up my Spotify for a second. And let's see, like, which albums I've like favorited on 17, 17 Hangade or Ataka. Yes, yes, yes. Which The Boys album is my favorite though? Oh my gosh, Icon Takeoff. That album is so good. I guess for 17 though, maybe the repackage of the Sector 17 repackage. Oh my gosh, NCT Dream Candy. Oh my gosh, that album is so good. Yes. What Woods album is my favorite? Which The Boys album is my favorite? Okay, I think Be Aware, the Whisper album for The Boys might be my favorite. Although the Reveal album, that's a really good one. Literally any BI album is my favorite album, to be honest. And Hypen, favorite Hypen album. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. It's an EP, there's only 4 songs, but the mixed up, the Drunk Dazed album, that one, oh my gosh. Full Kihyun Voyager, yes, that. Oh my gosh, Monsta X, One of a Kind. That album is so good too. Wow. I really liked Fremis 9's like Unlock My World. I think that album is probably like cohesively from last year one of the best albums. Okay, we're almost done with BTS. Whoa. Okay, so I think that's like, oh my god, well, any of the Monsta X, oh my gosh, I'm looking at so many albums right now. They're all so good. Any of Monsta X's English albums, of course. I think TXT, KS Chapter Freeze, of course. Colorful Trauma Woods, yeah. Oh my god, Sunmi's 1/6, that album, just front to back, is really good. The Dreaming, oh my gosh, The Dreaming Ace, yeah, that's their best album. Not the, oh my god, The Dreaming Monsta X. I said Ace because I was looking at an Ace photo on my phone. Wow, okay, anyway. All right, that was definitely more than 10 albums, but who is the funniest idol in your opinion? Oh my gosh, the funniest idol? Wow, who do you guys think is the funniest idol? I feel like for me, it's like maybe Dino. Dino's really funny. I honestly also, like, in a different way, I think Keeho from P1 Harmony is really funny because he's like so unapologetically him, and he is like really funny to the fans. Honestly, speaking of that, Vernon is also really funny. Like, Vernon is so fascinating, so I feel like that's why I feel like I would say him, is because he's just, I'm like, what goes on in your brain, buddy? Oh yeah, wow, yeah, well, let me know who do y'all think is like one of the funniest idols. There actually are, we have some good ones. I feel like I want to say like GOT7 as like a group total. I mean, and 17 in like another way, 17 as a group, you know? Yes. What's your favorite K-pop chorus? Oh god, no, I can't answer that. That's too hard. That's too hard. Put your playlist on shuffle and list the first 5 songs that play. Oh my gosh, wait, let's do that. Hold on. Since I have my iPad right here. Okay, we're gonna go to my playlists. This is my like 49-hour long playlist of like, it's called Pop Pop. Oh my gosh, Vivi's Maniac. Wow, great. Okay. And Team Firework. That's a really good one. Ooh, Triple S. California West Side, Wusang and BM. Yes. Oh my god. Amazing, amazing. What's the next one? Fate of My... Oh my god! Wow, we can go on forever. That playlist is so fun. Okay, yeah, that's like... that. Wow, that was fun. Okay. So we have one more BTS set of papers to go in here. Okay. What's your favorite K-drama with a K-pop idol in it? I think True Beauty, that Shanu drama. I thought that drama was really fun. Yeah, that was actually, oh my gosh, I have a funny story about Shanu. So when I was getting into K-pop in 2020, one of my like regular friends, these two Polaroids are my friends, my like BTS friends Polaroids. These are like real, my actual friends. So I'm going to put those face down. But, so when I was getting into K-pop in 2020, it was obviously COVID, so a lot of us were like at home. And one of my friends had gone home to live with her family for a little while. And one day, her dad gets this like package in the mail. Okay, we're on to Enhypen now. And if I can find the photo, I'm going to post it on here right now. But it's this big print, like canvas print, like someone requested like get this photo printed on a canvas, and it's of this like Korean guy. And my friend texts our group chat and she's like, Meg, who is this? Because this looks like a K-pop idol. And it's hilarious because if someone showed me that photo now, I would obviously be like immediately Chanu. Obviously everyone knows who Chanu is, but at the time it was like beginning of 2020, summer 2020, I didn't know I didn't even know who Astra was. I didn't know who Chanu was. I wasn't watching K-dramas at the time. So I'm like, oh my god, that's definitely an idol, but I don't know who that is. I'm going to like ask my friends about it. I texted my friend Tessa and my friend Emmy. Literally within 2 minutes, both of them are like, oh yeah, it's Chanu. And I sent that response back to my friends, and they first of all were like, how does your friends get that so fast? And obviously now, if you look at the photo, like obviously all of us would be like, immediately it's Chanu. But yeah, her dad got sent this, like, I don't know if it was like sent to the wrong address or what it was, but he had a literal full huge scale print of Chanu. I actually should ask my friend what they ended up doing with that. Oh my gosh, but that was so funny and random. Yeah, but True Beauty. And then I started watching True Beauty because I heard that it was a drama that people were watching. And I was like, oh, I've never watched a K-drama. The only other drama I watched was Love Alarm. If you all know Love Alarm, that was a time. But True Beauty was like the next one. Actually, no, I watched Itaewon Class, and then I think I watched True Beauty, and then I think I watched Crash Landing. But I'm literally like starting True Beauty, and I like start watching it. First scene comes up. This guy is there who obviously is Chanu, and I am like, oh my god. I text my friend, I'm like, this is the guy that your dad got a photo sent him of, because again at the time I was like just learning about all this stuff. Anyway, that's my like funny story about Chanu. What's your favorite OST by a K-pop idol group? Okay, to me I think it might still be Stray Kids' Neverending Story from Extraordinary You, but also runner-up Seungmin's OST from Hometown Cha Cha Cha, Here Always. Oh, that's so beautiful. But yeah, I think those are my top 2 favorites. List your top 10 bias wreckers. Oh my god, that's such a good question. Okay, so not in any particular order. I'd say San from ATEEZ. Jake from Enhypen. That's a good one because they're right here. Wreckers. I'd say Yuta from NCT. I'd say Mark also from NCT. I feel like he's like low-key everyone's wrecker. So that's 4. I'd say Mina and Sana from Twice. Trying to think of the other groups that I have in this binder. I'd say Bomgyu from TXT is probably my wrecker after my bias of Yeonjun. I'd say, who? Stray Kids, it's really hard because, like, I'd say Mino, I think Mino, but Seungmin is, like, really jumping up there. So I honestly might have to say Seungmin. So I think that's 8 or so. So who else? What other groups do we have? Oh, Soho from ONEUS. He's my, like, wrecker in ONEUS. Yeah, and then wrecker, maybe Hyungwon from Monsta X. I feel like that's a good one. Yeah, all right, that's 10. What's the oldest group you stan? Oh my god. None of my groups that I stan are like that old. I guess like BTS or 17. Like in terms of like the longest running. I guess iKON is from earlier than that, right? SF9 is from earlier than that as well. None of my groups that I stan are like super old though. What's the youngest group you stan? It's probably, I guess it's ENHYPEN. I guess I would say ENHYPEN, yeah. But I like a bunch of like the newer girl groups too, so. Like I like Rise too. Rise is pretty young. Do you have a favorite music video of all time? Oh my god. That is a really hard question. I feel like for now I'd just say my current favorite music video is P1 Harmony's Killin' It. That music video is so crazy. That is, oh my god, a wild time. Oh, hello? I'd say ENHYPEN's like Drunk Dazed is still such a good music video. I will never forget seeing that video come out. What's the most underrated, underappreciated group you stan? Oh my god, it has to be Ace or ONEWE. Yeah, for sure. Everyone needs to go and listen to them. Both groups are so amazing. How long have you been listening to K-pop? I've listened to K-pop since 2020. I guess technically I heard like a few songs in 2019. It's funny because when Spotify sometimes does that, like during their rap, they'll be like, oh, this is the first time that you ever listened to this group. Like you've been listening to them since X date. And for BTS, it said I started listening to them in 2017, which is wild because I definitely did not know about them in 2017. So I've always wondered, like, what was the song that randomly came on my playlist one time? Like, it was either DNA or, let's get to, this is iKON next. DNA, or I really liked, oh my god, wait, why am I blanking on that song right now? Wasted on Me, that, like, Steve Aoki remix song with Namjoon and Jungkook. So I bet, honestly, that could have been the song that I listened to first as well. Because, like, I love that, like, pop EDM sound, and it's possible that it came on, like, my playlist at one time, but it's so funny when Spotify told me that, because I was like, I don't recall. Like, I do not recall listening to BTS in 2017, but, you know, apparently I did. Do you own any K-pop albums? Yes, we already have answered this, but I own over 700 albums. So I do own quite a few. Name the top 5 groups you'd like to see live. Okay, maybe I'll try to name the groups that I have not seen live yet. So I'd say, well, oh no, I've already seen that group. Okay, let's see. Which group have I not seen? ONEWE. Ace for sure, BI obviously, NCT 127, and what other groups have I not? It'd be so fun to see XG. I feel like that'd be a great time. And yeah, I feel like at this point, I mean, something like shiny or something would be so cool. But I have seen Taemin once. I saw Taemin at KCON, so that is very lucky. My biggest regret of my like concert going like life so far is that in 2023, I could have gone, it would have been so inconvenient though, which is why I didn't do it, but I could have gone to New York to see, actually this happened to me 3 times. It's always New York, because New York is the closest like city to me, but it's not actually like, it still like takes a little while to get up there, you know? But 127 was doing their like very weird US tour where they like they went to like LA, they went to New York, and that was like it. Oh my god, this binder, now there are sleeves in it. I'm gonna need a new binder for all these. Okay, let's get the Monstas out next. So I did not go to see 127 when they went to New York. Biggest regret, because that was OT9 127, and at this point I don't think we will, I don't know if we will literally ever see a full group 127. I don't know. I really have my doubts, which is really sad. And then also like 2 weeks later SF9 came, and again that was literally the last time that I would have seen like OT SF9, because now Ruin's not in the group, and now they're going to be enlisting in the military for like Chunny's like 2000 line. We have like years to go before they all come back, so that was super sad. And then I also did not go to see Icon went to New York at the beginning, or when did they go? Sometime last year. And at least there, like, Jinwon's my bias, and he was already in the military, so I don't feel as bad, because like I wouldn't have seen the full group anyway. But I don't know, that still would have been cool. But it's just like getting up to New York, it's just a whole process, and you do have to take, I one time went up, drove up, saw NCT Dream, drove back down in the same day, and then went to work the next day, and I like really will never do that again. It was like, I made it through, but it was a really terrible experience. The Dream concert was great, but that process of driving, standing in line for the tour, seeing them on tour, driving all the way back home, and then getting up and teaching for like 6 hours straight was like really terrible. But yeah, I've seen almost all of my favorite groups live, which is really great. I'm gonna see ITZY in the summer, so that'll be my like other girl group that I will have seen at that point, which is great. Yeah, I've seen all these groups that we're putting away. I have not seen Ace, but Ace just announced a tour, so sometime soon they're gonna come. And I don't know where they're coming, but I will travel to go see Ace. I really will. BI, that's my last, because I saw Woods last year. That was very exciting. BI, when BI comes, oh my god, we're traveling for BI also. Yeah, so we're almost done with the Monstas. What's your favorite soloist? I'd say my favorite soloist is BI. I really love Woods. I really love Yugyeom. I think Dawn is great. Obviously, like any of the soloists from like all these like groups I really like as well. But in terms of like true soloists, those are my favorites. Is there an idol you'd like to hug? Oh my god. I'd like to hug Wonu from 17. That's my answer. Yep, that's it. If you could hang out with any of your biases, who would you pick and why? I feel like this actually isn't my like bias, but I feel like I would love to hang out with Kevin from The Boys. Like, I feel like hanging out with Kevin and Jacob and Eric would be so fun. Hanging out with The Boys would be so fun. I also really want to go out drinking with 17. I feel like that would be really fun also. Yep. Okay, so that's all the questions that I had up here, and we're almost done, but I think once I put away the Monstas, All right, that is everything so far. I think I'm going to now do a time lapse, everyone, for the last ones because I'm out of questions and I've been talking for like 2 hours. So yeah, we're gonna put away NCT and 1us1we, SF9, and TXT, and you will watch me do that in time lapse. All right, everyone, that was everything. So now everything is sleeved, but now this binder is full again. I took 17 out to make room, but we need to find more space somewhere else. I have like 2.5 packets left, which is pretty good because now I can obviously use those for the next set of PCs we're gonna need. But thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.